starting to let up, but it is still coming down. Came out here earlier and water was just gushing out of the scuppers on the side. Alrighty, well, welcome back to Panga Restoration, episode number 3. Let me just show you guys a quick update on what we got going on here. So I actually did sand the majority of the floor. However, there is a bunch of splotches and spots of paint. Something about this interior composite flooring, it just wasn't flush like this outside gel coat, and it didn't sand off smoothly like the outside. So that's been giving me a little bit of trouble. And also, we have been delayed by the rain quite a bit. So it's been raining like every night. It actually flooded here recently, and yeah, you can't really sand when the boat is soaking wet or when that rain is dumping down on it. It's actually sprinkling here and there right now, and it looks like it is about to rain again. But what we're gonna do in today's video is actually run this boat over to the boat shop, have it trailered up to my truck. We're gonna get a second opinion on pretty much just the progress on how everything's going. I did want to ask one big question that I'm unsure about, and that is on how I should go about doing these walls on the inside. I have been chipping away at it with a chisel, but since it is not flush, I don't know if I should be sanding it with that sander, because I will be sanding quite a bit of fiberglass. Also, down here, I mentioned it in the last Panga Restoration video, the original builder of this boat actually fiberglassed over an old layer of paint. So whenever I'm going back and chiseling this paint off, I'm actually getting under this layer of fiberglass, and that layer of fiberglass is actually holding this floor into place. So I'm assuming the boat shop is gonna actually have to strip all of that fiberglass off and redo it, re-fiberglassing the floor in place. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna go by the shop today, just to see what he says about that, and maybe get an estimated time that this thing is gonna have to be in the shop. So yeah, basically what I've been doing during this Panga Restoration is just the grunt labor work, sanding this thing down. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish sanding it myself. I might just ask them how much it's gonna cost to finish everything, because the boat's gonna have to be taken off the trailer, and the bottom's gonna have to be sanded, the motor's gonna have to be taken off, the transom, all that stuff's gonna have to be sanded. So we'll see. I might end up just finishing this boat out at the boat shop. We're gonna have to put it on stilts and stuff like that. But main objective of today's video, and really today, is to see what the boat shop says. So yeah, without further ado, let's get going. Alright, so we got quite a bit of work done today. I went to the boat shop and talked to them about a few things, and they helped me figure out what I needed to continue to get done, and that's pretty much what I did today. Didn't do a whole lot of work. I just did some minor things that I needed to do to finish this boat up and prep it for paint or gel coat. And tomorrow I'm actually gonna bring it back there and see if I can continue working on it there with some supervision and some help, hopefully. But yeah, I'm gonna cue the clips of the work we did today, and then after that I'm gonna explain what they said at the shop and pretty much what we did and how we're gonna go forward with this. Basically what they said at the boat shop, well, number one was that I didn't have to sand all the way down to the composite deck, and that all I needed to do was really just roughen up this paint. I'm actually kind of glad I did what I did, because that deck, that paint on the inside was actually super thick, which is why it took me so long to sand down and why I had to get that shop vacuum in here and just constantly vacuum. I was actually making like mounds and mounds of just powder. Let me show you guys a quick example of how much blue powder we have collected. You can even see some right here on the ground. But I'm using this 5-gallon vacuum right here, and I have yet to open it up, but it's gotten quite heavy. So let me show you guys what we got here. All right, well, I guess it's all in this this bag, but you can just feel all of the powder dust. This thing is, I give that a solid 15-20 pounds just of dust. Yeah, that goes to show you why it has taken me so long to get that interior done. Basically what he said is that on the inside, scuff everything really good with the sander. I pretty much just got it down to the deck. Good news is I don't have to get all of these specks of paint off as long as they're sanded down and they're stuck pretty good to the deck, which the specs are. So I'm glad to hear that. I don't have to go back and touch everything up. Also, he said I don't need to go back with a finer grit to clean it up. We want it to be rough so that whenever that gel coat or paint goes on, it's gonna adhere and stick on. So you can see that 80 grit has got it semi-rough, should be good enough to paint right on. And from here on, I'm not actually going to try to get all this paint off. I'm just gonna roughen it up, and we'll put the paint on there. I mean, there's no point really if some parts of the boat have paint that's really stuck on there. So good to hear. The second thing he said, which I started to work on, was the fun stuff that I definitely did not anticipate having to do. But it is the floor fiberglass over paint job. I'm starting to rip it up. Basically what they said was to rip everything out that's peeling off, that is not really adhering like it should. And yeah, I pretty much just took a chisel and I was able to just rip this stuff right off. And you can see that there is a substantial amount of paint and just crap under that fiberglass, which is why it did not bond properly. So that's what we got going. I actually was able to do it on the other side as well, up here by the bow. But I haven't really had any of this stuff pop off back here on the back half of the port side. So I'm not sure if we're gonna rip that out or not. We'll see. I did scuff up the entire inside interior walls on both sides, so I'm gonna take it back to the boat shop tomorrow and see what they say. I think from here on out, I want to take this thing into the boat shop and work on it there, or just have them finish the job, because I really don't really know how to proceed, I guess you can say. If I'm gonna do the bottom, I'm gonna have to get this boat off the trailer anyways, and they said that we can put it on basically stilts at the boat shop, just sand the bottom. Also, they're gonna help me pull the motor off. So that's what we got going. I didn't really film much today. I did film a little bit ripping off this fiberglass, but yeah, the majority of the stuff I haven't filmed, and a lot of the time lapses I have filmed has just been labor. So me sanding the boat down and getting this thing prepped for painting. So with that said, that's going to conclude today's work. I didn't do a whole lot. I really just buffed everything up, roughed everything up quite a bit, like they suggested. Really, I just need some help getting this fiberglass off on the interior connecting to the floor, and then hopefully we can get all that off and get the floor reglassed and get this thing painted. The goal is to have this boat ready by July. I would like to have it in June, but June usually is a pretty windy month, so I'm not gonna be too bummed if we don't have June to go offshore. Yeah, quick update for you guys today. I'm glad to hear that we have the majority of the sanding process done, and that I don't have to go back and actually get everything. But yeah, I guess we'll get back to work and keep going tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be at the boat shop getting some supervision and maybe some help. So you guys stay tuned. All right, y'all, so right now we are at Fibertex Stiffy Push Poles, and shout out to Kevin for letting me use his yard. He actually just lended me this tool, and we're going to be cutting off all of the glass that I chiseled off here. And once we get it off, we're going to grind it down and sand it to where we can re-glass the floor down. Look at all this stuff. Just paint under the fiberglass all the way around the boat. You can see it all right here too. Boom, works like a charm. There we go, another piece off. All right, just finished the first section here, and luckily it doesn't appear that I made any mistakes. I just barely dug into that layer of fiberglass and it just peeled right down and broke. So far, so good. Looks like it's pretty flush as well. So should be an easy time fiberglassing this back. Golly, look at that.
Here, look, it won't be portable.
There we go. All right, y'all, quick update. I've been doing quite a bit of work and actually cut off most of the fiberglass running along the floors. Both sides seem to have quite a bit of paint under it. I did find that we actually did have a pretty good stick over here, back on the latter half of the port side wall, and then on the back over here. So this stuff seems to be sticking pretty good. I tried chiseling it. I started up there, but it is stuck on a lot better than the rest of the boat. So we're actually gonna leave that area alone, just let it sit. It's already adhering pretty well, and we're gonna have to just replace all this other fiberglass that I ripped off. But yeah, what I'm gonna do now is actually go down here with the 7-inch sander with the 80 grit and just sand off this paint that was under the old fiberglass, and then prepare the bottom edge of this floor here, probably about 4 inches. Just sand whatever gel coat or paint we have down there and get it ready so we can lay new fiberglass down there. But yeah, so far so good. We've made a lot of progress here with this new tool, and I feel a little bit better about it since I do have some overhead on what to do. So it's coming good. These are all of the fiberglass sheets that I've ripped off today, and you can just see every single one has paint and gunk underneath, all sorts of crap. But yeah, luckily we do have a layer of fiberglass already under the floor that's running, that looks like it's stuck on really well, so the floor isn't just gonna fall apart under my feet. All right, y'all, well, that is gonna do it for the work we do today. I got most of the fiberglass ripped off the side walls. We just gotta go back and do some minor detailing. Yeah, I just kind of scuffed up some more paint here, scuffed up all around the edges so we can re-fiberglass the floor down and make it secure. And yeah, I just did a bunch of little small things to get this boat cleaned up and prepared to repaint. So yeah, that's the progress today. Got a lot of work done, feel good about it, and we will be back here tomorrow. So yeah, Panga is coming along. Ugh. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much paint and dust is on my face. This is what you gotta deal with whenever you sand a boat. Every day, the floor of the shower is just straight blue water, and I look like a Smurf. Legs, shoes, arms, face, and I'm also a little bit itchy, so it's always fun. Got our first battle scar from the Panga restoration. Thumb slipped and I hit a piece of fiberglass and started bleeding. So so far we've put blood and sweat into this project. Haven't put any tears into it. It's coming. A lot of work, but it's coming, and I am so pumped to see this thing when it's done. It's gonna look nice for the summer. Sheesh, the mosquitoes are awful.